welcome to the second episode of Tailors. I'm Cory.
I'm Matt.
And we work together at a company called Dark Arts Syndicate on the Trailer in a Box team. And we thought it'd be fun to do a podcast because we mostly underestimated how much work it would be. We just worked on a cozy trailer. So we're kind of in that mood. So we're going to take a look at a pretty cool trailer for Cast and Chill today. And perhaps more exciting / horrifying, we're going to take a look at our remixes that we did from last week. Matt, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Sure. Why not?
You have the con.
Okay. All right. So as a reminder, what we did last time is we went ahead and we decided we were going to take suggestions from the audience through Cory's LinkedIn post. People were giving us suggestions for video games to be recut into drastically different video game genres. So the one that I got was Silent Hill F, done as a cozy slice of life game. So with that, let's go ahead and watch it.
God. The music. Oh my God. That's so disturbing. Oh my God, dude. Oh, that was perfect and deeply disturbing. Oh my God, get a makeover.
Enjoy a makeover. Why not? So
oh my God.
For anyone who hasn't actually seen it, I actually think I would enjoy the original game. Incredibly dark, incredibly disturbing. So yeah, that was a nice try. I really want to. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, first of all, well done. That was excellent. I just want to point out that was the perfect music because it was just like so upbeat. Oh man,
yeah,
that was great. Oh, well done, dude.
Yeah,
well done.
Thank you. I am really looking forward to seeing yours before I get into mine.
We also should mention we only gave ourselves an hour, right?
Yes.
For everything from like watching the trailer, you're recutting to rendering at the end. God. I don't know about you, Matt. I took the entire hour.
Oh, I did too. But you said it was like about a minute left. I think it was about the same for mine. There was like, had to watch. Well, let's watch yours before I get too far into it, because a lot of the stuff we talk about is going to go like both ways.
All right. So my assignment was to take Animal Crossing New Horizons and remix it as a stealth action game. So I grabbed the like quick, official teaser 30-second commercial for it. And this is how it turned out.
Oh, okay.
One island. Infinite questions. Who are these animals? Who did they cross? And what is Project Horizon? Uncover the truth. End the lie. Animal Crossing. Project New Horizon.
Hang on. I gotta stop it. God, so dramatic.
Oh my God. It's shockingly difficult to do those in an hour, but also quite a bit of fun because you're like, well, I've got an hour. Let's just do this thing. So yeah, the hour is definitely a limiting factor. I would actually like to see anyone who's watching this, both of you, if you want to take a swing at your own remix on those, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You can't take more than an hour. That's the key.
That's the tricky part.
Hour.
Yeah. What I find really interesting about what happened with all of this is that it is really about breaking down your time when you're building these trailers. And this goes for like actually making trailers in real life too. It's like, so a nice contrast here is that you only had 30 seconds. You had to get that stuff done. You had to get right away. You had to go ahead and like know what you were hitting. I had like 2 minutes or something like that. So I had more time I needed to fill. So it's two different ways of approaching it. But the way that I approached it, and then I want to hear what you did, I gave myself about like 10 minutes to watch 3-4 different trailers on double speed. I wanted to make sure that I was not burning time. So I watched on double speed, and then after I watched on double speed, I downloaded them. I went ahead and I put them in place, and then I watched a series of cozy trailers, and I made notes about like what are the things in there. And number one was the music. It was the music each time, like this happy peppy kind of stuff. And then I was like, okay, they're showing clips of going around the environment, gathering, crafting. And I also found out in a number of cases, either they had title cards or voiceover to explain like little bits of that. So I was like, okay, so I've got that stuff to work with. So that was how I like structured out my time, then the editing, then the actual render. But yeah, like you have to keep in mind the render is part of this thing too.
So what's wonderful about this is that when Matt and I work on a project, when we're paid to work on a project, that's how Matt, right? Very thoughtful, good research. He really likes homework and sort of front loads it. I just throw a bunch of crap on the timeline and start cutting things up. And I'm like, I don't even think I actually watched the trailer. I just like scrubbed through it. I'm like, this is good. And then I usually go through and like make a mess on the timeline. And then I'll just write, a little bit of text for like what's going to be in what place. Then I do the audio, and then I fill it in basically like a music video over the audio. And of course I had to run from my office to this room to record the audio, which was interesting. But, it was actually for me a microcosm also of our full production process, which takes, a pretty variable time based on the scope of the work. But it was still, it was like, okay, you got to do a concept phase. You have to write your script. You have to get your audio in place, lay down your footage, and then you got to render. And it was a good exercise. It was fun.
And it was also an interesting point of like different ways of approaching things too, because like you took advantage of the fact of putting in like the vignette, the kind of like desaturation, for it. Whereas I was basically using the clips unaltered.
Yeah, and you had great selects too.
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, it was like, I mean, some of them obviously are kind of ridiculous with like the overcast and the rain. Yeah. But at the same time though, this is sort of like where it's going to show the actual clips of the game, because that's one of the things that you and the client need to decide when you're building this together, is how much of this is going to be basically pure footage as opposed to how much of it do we want to kind of like put some filters on and some tone setting visuals.
Yeah. And I mean, that's another challenge for this. Usually you have a creative box to work in from your client, right? In this case, we were the client. We had a pretty weird, large creative box, but
So that was a lot of fun. Yeah. What we'll do is we'll put these up somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly, but we'll start cataloging these as we go along. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at today's trailer, which is Cast and Chill.
This game kind of landed on our plates over the course of working on another game. We were working on I don't know if it's formally announced yet, but a similarly genre game for our wonderful friends at Titan One. And by the way, Rathan was kind of the person who gave us the idea for Trailer in a Box. So thanks again for that. And our third of our merry trio here, Mr. John Gaertner, said, guys, you got to check out this game. I'm obsessed with it. I got my whole gaming group obsessed with it. It's the coziest. It is Cast and Chill. And we fell in love with the trailer. Shall we roll it?
Absolutely.
Out here, you remember how quiet the world can be, how good it feels to breathe deep and just be. The river keeps moving, the bears find their fish, the deer disappear before you even see them, and the sky, she don't care what kind of day you had. Some days start at the Shaw, bell rings, floor creaks, and the air smells like outboard grease and old lake stories. You grab what you need, maybe a new rod, maybe just 5 minutes jawing with me about nothing in particular. Then you're off again. You open the tackle box, thumb through old lures, each one with its own story. You don't need much, just a cast and a bit of hope. The fish come and go. Some put up a fight, some slip the hook. Doesn't matter. It's not the cast or the fight or the stories you tell after. It's the stillness, the quiet, the feeling that for a little while you're exactly where you're meant to be. Come on, cast your line and chill a while.
So stinking good. Bravo, mystery video editor, wherever you are out on the internet. Freaking great. Oh, I could watch that trailer a lot.
Before we get into it, anything else you want to say about the trailer itself? Like, one thing I'll point out really quick is that we just did the cozy games. You did a cozy game turned into a non-cozy. I did a non-cozy turned into a cozy. But yeah, so much about it is about that, you know, the background music, the tone. There was the nature sounds in there. So
yeah.
Like, audio really can play a lot
in
terms of like
huge. Cool. So I had some immediate hot takes on like kind of my new favorite game. So I'm going to go into my top 3 right here. I'm going to type my name right. And I mean, the voiceover was, I mean, it's its own thing, but I think actually even more important than that, as awesome as it was, because X% of your users aren't going to hear anything, was the opening shot, right? I think that opening parallax shot with that just like there's probably somewhere else in there. That opening parallax shot was just so perfect. And even without any of that wonderful audio, you just are immediately pulled in. And it's, you know, it's the game, right? The game is, you know, sitting in this little boat, seeing all this parallax stuff go by. And it's a both impressive technical feat when you get into the game, but also pretty visually stunning. There's a lot of games like it, but that particular combination, at least for me, of like boat, awesome parallax, and then the reflection, I have not seen anything at least done to that quality degree. And so it's like doing that like quick cut of like 3 or 4 shots of that right in the beginning. Perfect, right? That pulls you in and immediately you're just like, I just want to look at this forever. My second thing is the voiceover. It's perfect, right? But let's get a little specific here, right? It's talking about the game. It's actually talking about the compulsion loop, right? It's, you know, like he says, look at the sky, or what did he say? It was like the sky. She don't care what the fish are doing, or something like that. He's literally like he's like, look at the sky. This is a pretty cool shot. And then he starts talking about, come by and pick up a new lure or reel, get some bigger fish. He's literally narrating the compulsion loop. It's brilliant, right? So that was fantastic. And then I think also just the intonation, the delivery, it was homey, it was cozy, it was conversational, and it was extremely directed, all of which is a very rare combination. I mean, just one of the better VO performances I've seen. The other thing, and we talked about this last time with the Helldivers 2 trailer, is that it pulls you through, right? You get these like 3 beats, right? And we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in a minute. But just sort of like those things that pull you in, right? The initial parallax thing, then it goes to the shop, right? And then you don't really see the fishing gameplay until probably 2/3 of the way through. And it just keeps like pulling you, like almost like you're a fish and you're getting like reeled in over the course of the trailer. So I have a personal gripe, which is that you can't have a cat in the boat with you. I'm a cat person. I would like a cat, but the dogs are pretty cool. But I'm not going to hold the cat thing against them. But those are my top 3. The opening parallax shot, the voiceover, which was just perfect, and then the storytelling pulling you through.
You didn't write down your third point.
I got too excited. I'm at it now.
All right. Why do that? Let me do this. All right. I'm just going to do it quick and fast here. So my top 3 are actually going to be pretty close to yours. The first one, I actually wrote this down really quick while you're talking about it. I'm actually going to call it the art style / color palette.
Yeah,
is that spelled right?
I don't know. Your cursor's in the way.
Sure. Sure. Why not?
That looks right.
All right. The important thing about it is that very distinctive. Immediately lets you know, especially with this kind of art style, immediately lets you know that this is a game that is handcrafted, basically. You know, almost want to call it artisan video games. Yeah, not mass produced, not from a big company, but from like a small studio, however many people that it is. But yeah, it's like nowadays these indie games are going to have like very unique, very stylish approaches to them. And that's signaling something to the player. It's like, this is something where like, we've built this with a specific vision in mind, not to take advantage of the latest graphic cards. We're not going for photorealism and all that kind of stuff. We're going for a specific artistic vision. So I kind of appreciate this.
Nailed it.
Number 2, same thing, voiceover. In this case, for me, it's just, that's the voice you expect, right? It's like fishing out on the wilds, out in the rivers, the lakes, out in the country. Yeah. Probably not going to have a New York accent or a New Jersey accent. Probably not going to be, talking like that. So yeah, just that very relaxed, old-timey voice.
I think that might have been the Iowa accent, which is the accent that newscasters use, because everyone sort of hears it and is like, yeah, that's my accent. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. It's the Dan Rather, right?
And then the last one I'm going to put down, I'm just going to put in environment. How do you spell an environment?
So hard to spell when you're like recording it.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Oh, wait. Environment. There we go. Okay. And this goes to your point earlier about like the parallax, but so many of those opening shots are just stunners. They're like Bob Ross paintings brought to life.
Yeah.
That shot with the lighthouse. Money shot right there. Oh, I would buy that game just to get to that location. But that's what you're playing the game for. These beautiful kind of things. And part of the environment, I really like how you can actually go above and below the water. And when you're below the water, you actually can see the surface from underneath. Like that's a really nice touch. Like when you're on the top, you're looking down and you get that beautiful reflection of the sky and the ground. And when you're underneath, you can still see kind of like up through the top. So it kind of gives that feeling that you're actually underwater. So those are my top three.
Yeah, and I mean, reflections are one of the most persnickety things in game development, and it's got the sky reflecting on the surface of the water, and then from under the water, it reflects the.
Yeah,
I don't even have the math to figure out what it's supposed to be doing, but it looks great.
It's awesome. All right, we're now in DaVinci. Gonna go ahead and break it down, and yeah, like we were talking earlier, the first got like 8. I'm going through the beginning part here. How was it? So the first 30 seconds basically is just the luscious backgrounds to soak all this in, and you've got the different environments where you're going through. They're showing off the color palettes. The dogs are changing. I don't know if you saw that. The dogs are changing along the way.
Yeah.
In this first 30 seconds, anything you want to call out in particular? Because it's basically just look how beautiful our environments are.
Well, yeah, and what's interesting is, oh man, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm like having trouble talking about it because I'm like so lost in it. It's 4 shots, right, and they're pretty evenly spaced of that beautiful parallax, and like you called out, then it goes to that lighthouse. I mean, that's about as good a 30 seconds as you can get. But like it's kind of a non-standard trailer in that it starts off, with 4 very slow cuts, but it works perfectly.
And the other thing too, I just realized, go back to the very beginning and you scroll through, the boat's getting better through each of the cuts.
Yeah, look at that.
It's actually going ahead and get upgraded.
Yeah.
So without even having to call it out, like your subconscious brain is kind of like picking up on the fact that it's not just the same boat each time. It's going to continue to get better.
And it's also worth maybe noticing they pick really nice spots to fade. So like there's one like tree going by in the foreground and they fade on that. It's not exactly like an action wipe, but it's the same idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like they do the pullback when you're on the lighthouse as you dock, it's like, yep, there you go. Then we go into the store, and while he's talking, he's going through all the different things you can pick up, and that's another 15 seconds. So I'm just going to
the crazy part is it's one perspective, and it's just showing sort of like some of the different things you can buy, which again, like in most trailers, that would be a really long cut. It would probably get a little bit boring. Like, okay, we're going to show 50 of the store, but I guess the way because they sort of are talking through the compulsion loop, I think it speaks to every gamer's brain, and every gamer is sort of doing the math subconsciously of like, okay, if I get that, then I can get that, and then I can upgrade that. But then what do I upgrade after that? Like, well, yeah.
I think like you're looking at it and you said, okay, so here is like hooks and lures, and then you've got rods, and then you've got boats. So it's kind of like taking through. And I'm just looking up now and I realize that there's a couple other things on the right that they don't show in this area, but that's where the voicer is really doing a lot of lifting. It's like talking a lot about what you can pick up, and like even it's like go ahead and talk to me about nothing for a while.
Yeah. It's great.
After that, we get back to some of these beauty shots, but that's where you actually go ahead and you finally get a chance just to see the lure coming. Let's see. It's at when that lure drops. Where are we at? Like 1.5, something like that. When you actually go underwater.
Yeah, a minute in, and you see the core mechanic, and it's not like it was showing you a cinematic or anything like that. It was showing you gameplay, but like the core gameplay doesn't show up until a minute, which is sort of like how fishing is, right? It takes a while and a lot of prep work.
Yeah, Exactly. It's like you could argue that, oh, well, a little bit before a minute, you start picking out your bait and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But the actual like part of fishing, the actual casting doesn't happen to about a minute to the trailer.
Which is
like, it's really leaning on the chill side. And like, that's just a strength, I sort of think. So yeah, that comes up, and then you're going to and then you're back to then you're basically back to the book where you can see like the types of fish you can catch. And that's not for very long. Whoop, right there. So that's at about like 1 minute 13. When that one's over, let me go ahead and move that up. Whoops, there we go. And then we've got the more of the actual gameplay and showing that there's stuff underneath the waterline as well. Things like trees and boats and other things. So I don't know if you can catch stuff in there.
Oh, what under the? No, I think that's just for like decoration.
Yeah,
but it definitely shows like the depth right away because you see the different environments.
Yeah.
One thing that's really interesting is if you go, I'm looking at it on YouTube. Right around that 1 minute part where the gameplay comes in, the graph for most replays goes way up, which is interesting, right? Because it makes sense, right? If you watch this whole trailer, you would go back and be like, wait, what is all this stuff, right? But I thought that was an interesting thing because usually it's just that straight decay, right? People just fall off over the course of the trailer, but this one sort of has an initial fall off like everything does, and then it goes up at 1 minute, which is just wild.
Yeah. And then we are into the lovely title.
And that title shot it's interesting to call out. Like it's a really long shot. What is that? It's 123. It's almost just like a 10, 15 second pan up. And I don't believe in the game you actually ever pan up that high or that low. So it looks like this is a custom camera, which that's definitely something that super valuable because it shows you more of the feel of the game rather than, a first person camera that might be, tuned for gameplay. But something like this, I'm imagining they had to sort of go to the engineer or lead on the project and say like, hey, can we get a big panning shot up from that? It's, not impossible to do, but it speaks to the fact that you get a lot of mileage out of those custom shots. But, like this trailer, use them judiciously.
It's also important to note that this is the only time we actually see the title. And correct me if I'm wrong, we don't see the developer's logo at all in here. We see the game system it's on in the very beginning, just like we saw a PlayStation in the beginning of Helldivers, but we don't see anything about like what studio has put this out.
That's interesting. I wonder if that's a Nintendo thing. Like maybe it's like their brand standards but this trailer was released by Nintendo. So
that might be that might be the reason. Like, okay. All right. So next we're going to go to the Miro board. So yeah, here we are in the Miro board, and you can see that, how it breaks up compared to Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 was, I think it was a little bit longer, but it also was more action packed. There was more stuff going on into it. So there's more cups to deal with. But here, you can see that first section, that's all just the backgrounds, the parallax beauty shots.
It is remarkably few cuts, right? For such a polished trailer. Like, what is it? It's, one here, right? One probably here, and then one here. And that's it, right? It's just those I think it's just those 3 clips because they just have so much to show.
And then in the second spot right here, this is the actual in the shop where you're talking to the old man. About nothing. And then the next shot is basically when you go out onto the water. And that's still just you actually moving onto the water. And it's not until the next shot. Let me get this here. Yeah. It's not until right here that you actually get your first gameplay.
Yeah.
aspect.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's not until basically right here that you actually get the name of the game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird because these days you're like, in the old days of television, when the television commercial came on, it was just the screen. It was just the images that were there. But nowadays, when people are watching stuff, it's almost always got the title underneath, like you're on YouTube or on IGN or something like that. So it's almost like, the title doesn't necessarily have to be in the front of the trailer anymore, because 9 times out of 10, the first time you're going to see this, you're going to have some sort of like information around it. And you usually have to go ahead and actually do full screen to make it work. Now, some short form videos are different, because those will just like pop up full screen on your screen to begin with. But for the most part, I think that there's a lot more flexibility for people in terms of where they want to put the actual title at.
It's true. Yeah. And definitely a lot of like creative sort of ways of weaving those pieces in and out. I'm still floored that just like the overall pacing, right? Like I think we did our little graph last time of like, here's the beginning. Let's say this middle point here is neutral. This is the Kurt Vonnegut, emotional thing. It starts off, I would actually say, pretty neutral, right? It's a cozy game, and this first part it's chill, right? But well, actually, no, I'm gonna actually go against what I'm just saying. I think this is nope, that's a highlighter. I'll do this because you know what it is. It goes pretty chill, but then it just comes slightly up, right at this beautiful parallax shot of the lighthouse, right? I think it's the lighthouse. And it's just this like really, really intensely beautiful shot. And it kind of, I don't know, for me at least, it got my heart going. And then it actually brings it down, maybe even lower than it started, right? Because you're in the shop, and like literally the guy's like, we could talk about nothing. And it kind of goes up a little bit, you're back out there. And there's a bit of rising tension as we sort of see like some of these gameplay mechanics. And then I think actually right here, if I recall correctly, there's that big shot of that fish jumping out of the water and kind of glinting in the light. And we kind of get our, I would say like the emotional climax of it. And then it drops way back down to that sort of very chill, relaxed ending. Maybe you could say it kind of branches up like this at the end, because we get that really exciting long pan up. But I mean, there's no sort of like wild deviations, and there's nothing really ever below the midline, which I think probably speaks quite well to what people want out of a cozy game.
It's an interesting point, because what you've got really is you have in this trailer, they're showing you all the things about going ahead and like enjoying the countryside as you go out to your fishing spot, and talking to the man in the fishing shop that you probably talk to every morning, and coming back from the fishing and all this kind of stuff. But it's the one thing they really don't show is the fish going in the boat. You see like the fish in the water on the line at one point, that kind of stuff, but it's not really about catching the fish. I mean, like, it's not like bringing the fish in. It's about going out, casting your line, and then it's chilling on the boat. And like the fish are almost kind of like incidental in that part. Like they had the book with the fishes in there, but like in this video, you can see, where's that book? It's like right here, this part. Hey, this is the fish. And all of this is not fish. And all of this is not fish. Well, not all of it. Like there is some here, but you can see it's sort of like where the emphasis is. And that's good, because that's what people want. Did you ever play the game Dredge?
No, I don't think so.
I loved it. I thought it was great. It had a lighthouse in it too, but it was much more creepy. But that one was like a Call of Cthulhu, cosmic madness underneath the surface of the water kind of stuff. But it still had sort of like part of the most enjoyable aspect of the game was actually just going catching fish, going out to the locations, and then casting your lure, so to speak, and seeing what you pull up. So like that's the whole point of fishing, is that sort of like relaxed, like you said, not like super highs, not like super lows, just a nice relaxing experience.
Yeah. And it mirrors the actual experience of the game, which is very chill. It's surprisingly challenging. You know, when you've got a fish on the line, you kind of have to reel it in, but definitely it's that dynamic.
Yeah. And they don't show that mechanic at all, do they? Like in terms of how you're supposed to bring in the fish. That's not important. That's not important.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I think that's what makes it a great trailer. Cast and Chill's the name, and that's what they're showing you.
All right, so we're gonna maybe remix the remix this week because I have a short attention span. We are going to assign each other genres of, to remix Cast and Chill with, because we just spent so much time with it and I can't get enough of it. So, Matt, you just named the genre that I think you're gonna want to remix this one is. It's gonna be Cast and Chill mixed up with cosmic horror.
Oh, okay.
Optional,
all right.
But it feels like the right way to go.
All right. Okay. I gotta think here. Hang on.
I'm totally putting you on the spot here, but you said it, and I was just like, oh well, yeah. I mean, what's gonna come up, right?
I'm good with that. I will definitely do that. I need to think of something that's going to torture you. Give me a second.
Oh God.
So, Cast and Chill, you love this game, and you've played this game. Like I haven't played this game. I would play this game, but I haven't played this game. So you love this game. What's something? Oh, okay. All right. I want you to do Cast and Chill as a dating simulator.
No, it's too easy. But if I say that now.
Because I didn't say what you're dating.
You and I, darling. I just wish I could find it. I'm going to think about it for a while.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to make a mess out of those two next episode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you, whoever made this beautiful trailer. Gave us something to fanboy out about for a little bit of time. Thanks for tuning in and for the suggestions. We will be posting these at some point when we have announced our company, and we look forward to seeing comments and suggestions or questions.
That's right.
And yeah, next week.
I actually want to do a game that I really enjoyed, that I played a lot of. I don't think you played, but they just had their actual launch not too long ago. They were in early access for a long time. Satisfactory.
Ooh, I've been meaning to play that game.
That is like I got so deep into that game, and so we'll break that one down next, because also again that was an actual early access that was in development for a long time, working with community before they came out to the actual, like the final release, or the proper launch, I should say. So we'll do Satisfactory next time.
Amazing. And if you know, if this takes us forever to get done, you'll know why. It's because what's got lost in the sauce.
That's right. That's right.
But yes, awesome, Matt. Thank you for another great episode.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to do it again sometime.
Yes, sometime.
Yeah. And follow us on social media under Dark Arts Syndicate. Again, we're the Trailer in a Box guys. I'm Coray.
I'm Matt.
And this has been Trailer Tailors.
Bye, everybody.